Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to tell you about my first kind of run-in a literal sense, because I was actually running when we met, but our first run-in with our friendly neighborhood creep. And this guy is kind of known throughout my town as being kind of creepy, kind of a creepo, and he's always kind of walking on the same road all the time. And at the time of meeting him, didn't really know he was a creep, but I brought him up to one of my friends afterwards, and apparently they knew him. So let's get into it. Now, this story starts off with me and my friend Ryan. That's what I called him a few videos ago. Not his actual name, but that's what he'll be known for on this channel, at least. So one day I asked him if he wanted to go for a run. I'm a big runner, frequent runner. I run like 5 to 6 miles a day. And that day I had nobody to run with. And I didn't really feel like running alone, so I asked him. And he said, sure. And he tried and run with me. No, he's not a frequent runner. And because of this, I had to kind of like keep slowing down for him. And after that not really working for very long, I had to keep, I kind of had to slow down a lot. Sorry if you're watching this. But we decided to do a workout thing where I would sprint like a 400-ish, kind of a 400, on a straight section of the road, and then jog back to him and walk. And we'd talk for like 2 minutes of rest or whatever. Now, like while we were doing this, we passed this kind of creepy looking guy. Like we didn't pay that much attention to him because it would be kind of rude. Like he hadn't really done much to be creepy yet. He just kind of looked off. So like anyway, we continued on our run, a workout thing, and eventually it gets to the time to turn around. We're about like probably 2 miles out. We turned around and we were walking. We were talking about the guy that we'd seen earlier and how he was like kind of strange. Something wasn't quite right about him. Like we were like, did you notice that guy? That guy was kind of weird. He was kind of creepy. I didn't really feel like I wanted to be by that guy. And so we're talking about that, and then and then I'm like, yo, wait, yo, be quiet. And because we're coming up on the guy again. He's now walking in our direction, back towards where we are, and we're walking towards him. And we're walking, and I'm a nice person. I'd like to think. I like to say like hello to people. So as we walk by him, I go, good afternoon. And the guy stops us, and he goes, hey boys. And I'm kind of like, oh, okay, this is kind of strange. And but he doesn't seem like a super like creepy guy. He's just like really weird. Like he might not be a creep. He's just like really weird. And so he he's like talking about our running. And he goes, you just can't keep up with him. And he points at me, and he's talking about my friend. He's talking about Ryan. He's like, you just can't keep up with this one. He's a fast little guy. And I'm like, okay. And then he looks at me, and he says, and you just don't ever want to stop. And when he does that, he takes his hand and puts it on my shoulder. Now, another thing is that in this moment, I realized that he didn't have a hand. He had gotten his hand either amputated or he didn't have it at birth, but either way, he had a nub hand and was putting it on my shoulder while very weirdly saying in a very strange tone, talking to me. And we were both like, yeah, ha ha ha, and like, we gotta go now. So we ran back to the school. And so we get back in school, and we go to rehearsal. We go to rehearsal for our musical, and we go up to my friend, and we're like, yo, this guy just came up to us on the street, and he was so creepy. And we describe him, and then we say that he has one hand, and my friend goes, "Oh my god, that's we'll call him Dan." He goes, "That's Dan. That's one hand Dan." And we're like, "Wait, you know about this guy?" And he's like, "Yeah, he's super creepy. He comes into the place where I work all the time. He like he likes like half the girls that work there." And we're like, "Oh no, what is going on?" And so apparently he finds out like when their like team meetings are, like when their staff meetings are, when everyone has to be in the building, and he just shows up and is like, "Oh, it's a team meeting again? Shoot. How did I manage to come to this one? I've been to the last four." That's such a silly coincidence. And also, we later found out that my friend Ryan, who was running with me, his older brother knows Dan. He works at Walmart, another place that Dan frequents, I guess. And he's got some a few stories that might be shared in future videos. But one short story that I'm gonna share right now is one time he's working. Okay, so older brother of Ryan, he's working, and Dan comes to the checkout, and Dan's making up a conversation with him. He's making conversation. It's all lighthearted. It's all fun. He's not that creepy. And then he says like, "Oh, thanks for bagging my groceries, whatever, whatever cashiers do and stuff at Walmart." And he holds out his nub for a handshake. First of all, why the nub? Use your hand. He has a hand. He has a hand. I am in no way making fun of people who are amputees or anybody, but all I'm saying is that's kind of a bit uncomfortable. But either way, he holds out his nub, and reluctantly, Ryan's brother goes to shake his nub in a nub handshake, and when he does this, he grabs the nub, and Dan pulls him in close and goes, "Oh yeah, I love when you nub me." What? Huh? What? Who is this guy? And should we be worried? Because I feel like we should be worried. I feel like this might be a call the cops situation pretty soon. But either way, um, that's kind of all the story that I've got for you today. I'll probably be posting more videos and stories about Dan once I get more in contact with Ryan's older brother and I get some more funny stories or crazy stories from him. Also asking some of my other friends who kind of lived in this area longer than me that know him a little bit better. But I there's a ton of stuff that he's done. There's a video of him like crawling under a divider in a stall. I don't know what the context of the video is, but it's a very scary video. I might show it to you in a future video. But anyway, if you enjoyed the story and want to hear more stories about Dan or just my life or literally like anything, make sure you subscribe. Thank you for watching.